All right. It is a very good morning to the one, the only WJ Warrior Jr. With his self-deprecating humor in this title that I called "Thoughts of Being a Putz." I don't know why I call that. And I try to hold myself in higher regards. But I guess they say if you can laugh at yourself, that's kind of a good thing. But we all make mistakes. That goes without saying. But it's hard because nobody likes to look like an idiot. We all kind of all look like saying, "Man, I want to be the best person I can be." And here, sometimes we do things that are detrimental to us. I mentioned this before that I spent many years gambling. Um, you know, the latest was a couple days ago. Literally, I have a friend that I met in a meeting, in a recovery meeting, and it's ironic because he lives up the block from this other guy that I know that's all he does is drink and smoke all day. Not looking good either. He's got to get some type of surgery on his calf or something like his heart, his body. All he does is drink beer, smoke cigarettes or vapes, and then weed all day, all day. I mean, how can you, when you're 60 years old, 61, you can't, like your body is going to say, hey, you're putting in all this toxins, and that's all you're doing. Look, I remember I used to go to this bar in Skid Row, near Skid Row in Los Angeles. It was Candies. They reopened it until like, and I would go into this place. They're open like 6 in the morning, and it was like the people lived in like the Section 8, the building upstairs, and these were like retired military. I guess most of them, and they would do they go down there, in the morning, and basically they were sippers, and they would get like they had like these little 8 ounce, they call them pony beers, Budweiser, but then they would get like a pitcher, and these people, like, that pitcher could last like 3 hours literally. Now they had these little TVs going, and they would watch AMC classics all day. They talk back and forth. There was this guy, would show up. I remember Navy Ron. I really liked this guy. He had a great attitude, and he told me he was in the Navy. He was a sailor, and he was like in his 50s, and you know, there was this other guy that didn't talk too much, was in the Air Force, but the Navy Ron guy was really cool, and I had to BS fit into the thing, so I said a complete bullshit thing where I said I was part of like a private thing. I was a captain, and I was supposed to be promoted to major. I said like an Air Force intelligence officer, because I was in my 30s at the time. And I said, like, the deal was that I was dismissed and I got full retirement. It's a total bullshit. Like they retired me as a major, this is total, or captain, it's a total bullshit story, it's sort of nonsense. But it fit, guys are, oh, okay, all right, you're whatever, you get your check every month, and so it's nothing to talk about really, but it was funny. But I remember that Ron told me, he goes, I remember I went to the Commerce Casino, like I was playing Pan 9, and I had the chip rack, it holds 100 chips, and he goes, I had it full of whites, like 10,000. And I've had it in my life. I guess he lost it all, he told me. But, it's really amazing that you're not the only one. You think, oh, I'm the only one that's playing, I'm the only guy, and you're not. You're not. There's a lot of people out there that have stories like yours. They have stories of losing horrific amounts of money, that would make 10,000 look like a fucking penny. Believe me, I'm not exaggerating when I say that. You know, it's a thing. It's just levels. It doesn't matter. You know, and you know, I've got this problem, and it's a difficult thing because it's not like drinking alcohol. Oh, by the way, this is the chai spice tea. Finally picked some up pavilions the other day. So got these cinnamon graham crackers at uh, Trader Joe's. They're really dipped in, you know. Um, so the thing is, I remember going to that bar, and I would go there, so I wouldn't go to the casino. You know, like I would go there because I had nothing to do. So, and sometimes these chicks would show up. There was this one chick, Jennifer. Wow, I mean, she was fucking fuck. You know, and I almost got her a couple times, but what happened was she get too fucked up, and you know, it didn't work. You know, I remember, yeah, she was off. You know, Jennifer Lent. I remember. Um, you know, that was my escape place. You know, that was the place I would go, so I wouldn't go to the casino. Then what I would do is I would go gambling sometimes, and then I would get off the bus coming back and go there. You know, till like morning, and or whatever. You know, or a little early and catch like the red line back or whatever. Um, you know, I stopped drinking 3.5 years ago, and so far that's really good. I'm glad that I did. I wish I could say the same thing with gambling. You know, like it's a weird thing. I get some deep time under my belt, but then I go. If you know, like me, you know what I talk about is I go to those dances in Orange County or Claremont or whatever. I don't meet anybody, and it's like you know it's a you know long depressing ride home, whether it be on the train or in a taxi. You know, going by the casino, I didn't have any itch to go in, but I sit there and I go, I'm not having fun doing this, and I'm not losing my money doing that. So I guess not to have fun and not lose money than to lose your money and not have fun, if that makes any sense. You know, to gambling, because with me, I can't just the way that I'm wired. I'm too compulsive. You know, it's all relative. Like I have my friend Chris. He goes. He plays 816 limit hold'em. You know, he loses $400. It's weird. He uses reverse psychology. He goes, "Oh, I'm depressed. I'm depressed. I lost my month 400." And I go, "How much you lose?" And he goes, "Only 400." And I go, "What do you say only 400 if it doesn't?" Because he's trying to make it sound like it's not a lot, but it bothers him, so it is a lot. You know, I've lost 4,000. I've lost 400, 1,200 like a couple days ago. I've lost, you know, I've won 5 times in a row, 10, you know, 2,000, make 10,000, and lose it all in one fucking afternoon. I've lost 10 grand. You know, that really bothered me. But then I've been bothered losing 1,000, you know, when. But, you know, it's like there's no success story. You know, like this one, I went to this, you know, the tournament when it's at the bike, and the guy, he had a World Series bracelet in a case. They showed, you know, to me, it's like the golden carrot. You know, they're showing you this shit. They're showing you the you know these trophies. They're showing you the bracelet, the you know the winner, you know, on the banner that made all the money. You know, like this one fucking guy. You know, it's one fucking dude. Like somebody wins. It's true. But let me tell you, like I played in a number of tournaments in Vegas, and I only cashed once. And we're talking about you know how much I paid in entry fees. 200 here, 600 entry fee for 1,500 in the World Series, 1,500 in the side of you know one of the events in the World Series. You know, cash won $605. You know, then I played those dailies there the summer at the Win. You know, the 105, the add on 150. You know, we're talking thousands of dollars that I put up. You know, and I've never gotten it back. I've never gotten even close to anything. And you know, it's like you know, I think about this like, okay, the flight to Vegas or whatever, $50 round trip, cute, three free, you're it's then I dropped 1,000 at Parrot in Pai Gal poker, like, so it's like I got nothing to show for it, like I thought like my strategy, as being patient and gambling, and trying to turn this into a career, and it doesn't fucking work for me. I wish there was a set way to do this. Doesn't matter. Like my like tell me, you need to do this, try to be this, but he doesn't understand the compulsive nature. He doesn't understand. I mean, it seems like he's kind of compulsive when he's in Vegas too. If he plays absolutely everything, like that shows kind of a compulsive thing. But he's got like 3 kids, so he doesn't have time to fucking go like I do. Like my friend Chris goes, he's bored. He's got nothing to do at night, so it's very easy. That place is open 24 hours. The bicycle club or whatever, and go there and play till he gets busted out. Now I'm the same way. I just play for more money. Play different games, but it just doesn't matter. The end result is the end result. I went there with $1,600 the other night, and I wound up, leaving with 400. Like I just got so agitated in this one last hand that I bet $600 and maxi good. I got a joker. I mean, I thought I had a really good shot to win the hand. The bank opened up with an ace high flush. Ace flush behind. It's not even worth talking about because you're trying to validate anything. I mean, the problem is a problem, and my problem also is like my dreams. Thinking, oh, if I could just get the big hit, to buy my condo in Vegas for 150,000, then I'm good. I'm good. I'm set. In LA, something like that would cost you 800,000 or 600,000. I can't fathom being able to accrue that kind of money or credit or anything. So, it's like, how am I going to say this in a GA meeting? It's like, yeah, I'm a compulsive gambler, but I want to buy my property in Vegas. No one's going to understand that, and it's a difficult thing because, I go to the gym, because I got nothing else to do, like at night now they close, it's the same here. Like they're there till the gym closes. Like they have nothing else to do. Thing. Like I'm there to really work, like if I go in there at 9 by like 10 to pass the time kind of thing. Think about these endless meetings in GA. Like I used to go all the time, and I really, yeah, it did keep me away from gambling for a long time. But I really couldn't be honest with many of these people because you're on a stage, kind of like when you're sharing, and these guys, like I know a lot of them can relate to what I'm saying. That's extremely productive to build a life, like that. I mean, talk about their wives, talk about their families. I don't relate to any of that. I don't want to get married, have kids. I don't give a fuck about any of that. So I relate to many people. And they say, well, just go to another meeting, And there are some that are really, really good at small, like with really generally for poker players, like the receipting, I remember, was pretty good. I guess the philosophy is if you're willing to take 5 miles to go gambling, you should be willing to take plus 25 miles to go to a meeting. It's. I read this thing on promises.com website, and it said about compulsive gambling, and it said, the recovery. You don't necessarily have to go to the depths of suicide and jail, to hit rock bottom. Everybody's bottom is different, but the recovery, the fact of being after this and try to address this as an illness and try to endeavor. They use that term, a Herculean endeavor, and they're fucking damn right it is. You have to understand something. You're talking about one of the most insidious, challenging things. A lot of gamblers are very strategic people. This is not like, oh, look, I wrote this shit down, man. I was keeping statistics, the way I play, not just betting, like pulling a slot machine handle. I mean, there's a lot of odds and calculations and stuff that goes into playing, a lot of these things, but it doesn't matter. Still gambling. The variables geared for the house to win or geared, like poker. It's not like a powerlifting competition where the strongest guy wins. I mean, the variables in cards, if you go any and you're sitting there for hours and hours and hours on end, and you're investing, your time and your energy, you're not getting anything back. So, like right now, that's what everybody's dreaming is sitting there playing, hoping to get that bad beat. That's what my friend that lost another $100 yesterday. His dream, to get that bad beat. It's not going to happen. Not going to happen. I mean, yeah, and they keep advertising. Oh, nine times they hit it. They hit it. That's over 2 weeks. Like it's an incredible. I've never even gotten close. I've played thousands upon thousands of hands and everything, and I've never gotten it. So, you're dreaming, piping, and this type of pipe dreaming not healthy. Um, it's not healthy because you're not being productive. You're sitting there with all these other people, and you're not. I said this to my friend Chris. When I was at the bike yesterday, and it was like 2 in the morning. I was look, all these people here. It's alive. You walk around on the streets at 2 in the morning. It's dead. There's nobody out there. And then it never occurred to me. It occurred to me like now, it's not good people. There's good people working in a hospital at 2 in the morning. There's sick people too, but the point is that you go into a place with a bunch of losers. You just don't realize it. They're passing the time too. That maybe they got a lot of money because they own businesses, but they got to be losing a fucking fortune. If they're playing for more than me, more than likely, that it's they got to be fucking giving this place a fucking fortune. It's funny, all Asians in a Hispanic area, just in a way, the Hispanics, some of them gamble for big money too, but a lot of them, they work really hard. They know the value of the money, and they know they can't beat the house, so they don't bother playing. The Asians, they're just addicted. They love that high. A guy like me, it's like, you know, I'm somewhere in between where I'm addicted and I don't have a lot of money. So it's like, anytime I get a big lump sum, like immediately, like I got to go and play for the big money and have it and my ass handed to me. And that's what's been happening. I took like, uh, I'm trying to think. Uh, oh, okay. So I got like 6 grand, from going to school. I'm working on my doctorate, so I get like a refund. So I took like, 1,000, a little bit more. I put it into the crypto. Then I took the remainder and I went down to play cards, and I got destroyed. I lost like 4 grand, and then the crypto thing kind of went up, so I was up like 700-800 bucks, and then after the whales cashed out of the Shiba, it went down. It dropped, so I wound up losing all the profit. Now I want to. I make like $100. I started with like 1,500, whatever. So I make 1,600 bucks, and I cashed out. So I immediately, like, I thought it was gonna take 3 to 5 days to get the money. I got it like in 2. So I took 100 there. I had like 400 left. So this Latina with big boobs, you know, um, I donate to her like 300 bucks, and that's what it costs. So I get a little bit of fun for that kind of price. And I told her this. I said, I don't regret any of the money I've ever given any women. I don't regret it. I think about it. I say, okay, it is whatever. They give me a little bit of fun, and it's kind of like worth it. Kind of like worth it. It's always, but it's something. But the casino, I always regret it. I always fucking regret it. Like going to the fucking casino. Like at least when I drank in the bars. Now I'm not gonna try to validate drinking, but that, when I said, I started this with like a King Eddie. I would go to the bars. There was a bar in the valley. and it wouldn't cost me nothing. Literally $40, I wouldn't give a shit, buying a beer with a couple of beers until they close or whatever, and then go to the mobile, whatever, like after two, before two, to take back. It was like inconsequential. Like I didn't go broke from drinking. I went broke from fucking gambling. Like gambling at the casinos for $1,000. Like that's what crushed me. Spending money on women never really put a dent into anything. Now I never had big money to begin with, but like anytime I got any sizable money, like I just got excited. And I want to go. Like the Vegas thing. It's like the problem with Vegas is it's like at 2 in the morning if you're excited. How are you going to get there? I don't drive, so the only way would be have a friend drive or wait till 5, 6 in the morning. If you can reserve a plane flight or and go and whatever. But I go now. When you feel it and it takes time to get there and everything. I think I explained this many times. The feeling, the indescribable feeling of driving to Vegas. I'm talking about I'm not driving, I'm on the passenger side. And when you come, you go to State Line, whatever, and you Whiskey Pete's or Prima Donna, whatever, that's one thing. But then keep going and you come around that turn and you see all the lights like over you get off the freeway before, that welcome to Las Vegas sign, like that thing off the 50, driving up the strip, past the South Point. It's there's no I cannot tell you, the feeling is indescribable for me. I mean, it's like it's better than Disneyland for kids. I can't actually, the games are kind of better, but I play, the odds are, they give you more options here. But my point is, like, when I get there, when you fly in too, it's almost that good. The driving thing is even better. It's like at night, it's the ultimate for me, because when I was a kid, we went to Maxim, and I must have been 10 years old or something, but it was unfucking unbelievable. But to this day, that euphoric feeling. I remember I walked the airport last time I was there a couple months ago. I walked from the airport to Excalibur at like noon. No, it was a little earlier, like 9. I just was like, I'm here, kind of thing. It's unbelievable. I had to cross like this, not the highway, but like these streets. It looked like a freeway, but it wasn't. Um, and I had like $3,000 on me. That was a profit weekend. I was there to play in the World Series for 1,500. I already talked. I don't want to gamble. Like I'm not in Vegas anymore, so it makes it very difficult. There is this one cell phone number. Every time I try to text her or call her, she never is available. But I think about it. And I said that's like the only reason. And that'd be kind of stupid. Makes it very difficult. To go dancing, it's changed a lot out there. I walked around everywhere, and I really, after a little while, that feeling I talked about goes away. Um, don't really get repulsed by it, but there's really, it's the same shit. Like you kind of see it, and okay, well, okay, this is harder here, and then this I don't play, really nothing, and that's the problem. There's really nothing after a while when you start thinking about it. I'm trying to think how I got into this topic, but I know I talked about Vegas, but it's a very difficult thing. The compulsion, gambling and losing, refusing. I mean, especially when you play for a sizable amount of money, which I have to. I played for little money too. But it's only because there's jackpot to be had. And then after a while, I feel like I'm wasting my time. I'm like, what am I doing? I need to try for some real money. That's how. And I start thinking because it takes real money to do anything. So and when you lose, you're losing sizable money. You can't just go there like and take like I have the access to cash. I got to put it up. I mean, that's tired. I guess it was pretty smart to leave 3,000 in the house and go to Vegas with 1,000. But it's a difference. I lost the 3,000 in Vegas, and I lost the three home at the bicycle club when I came home. So there you have it. It's damned if you do, damn. Um, I didn't hook up with any chicks either in Vegas, so that kind of bothered me. My friend Chris goes, well, I don't know what to do. He used to go. There's a 24 Hollywood. He would go there sometimes because, again, he's bored. I try to figure out. I said, well, what did you do before? And that's important. Yes, talking to myself. It's a good buddy. Then I felt like I was of service, but I have a very difficult time with meet where I don't really feel like I'm going ahead. I had a business going for a while, but eBay screwed me, so I screwed them. So depending on what it could change. There's money besides going and give it away at 3 in the morning. Problem that of course that we have like I don't know Friday night. It's down. Well, why don't you just go down there 5 hours later and that wad is gone? We're all in. You've got a bad hand like I did. I go. It's an awful like thinking of the consequences. You're thinking, oh, I want. Maybe it's going to come again, but thinking, oh, but it just does a great, great, only little, then it's not a problem. But if you're like me and you're a problem, it's a problem. It's something that, and it's so weird. Like, I go out, like I told you, I go dancing in Boy Park. I didn't meet anybody. And I was there, and like anything, boxing, whatever. Like in here, that everything like comes baseball anymore, but it's just so weird too. I really wish. What really bothers me a lot, and he wanted to work. He wanted to. It's not so good. Writing was funny. The guy, it kind of like I had almost going for my man. You, and I've already C in ethics and remember. I I don't know if I had to take it with her. I took it again. I wanted to get past that. And I know I already shared this story, but that and I did this, and I needed this caps final class from me. It's the same. So this time I fucking flying that. No, you gotta take it again. You gotta take, and I can shove you. My fucking master right here. I did. It took me. I got my master's. It was supposed to be in sports admin, but it was just. But I remember I got the last laugh. But I guess except it's I know It said 56 up. Your name on it that says velocity, ABD, too fucking completed. Like the thing so long. Like what they're trying to do is they're trying to milk you for fucking money, so they can nail you for the tuition. Like over the year and a half. That's what's happening where I'm going right now. You understand? Like it's not like you do 27. There's a gonna put it right, and they get the right feeling goes away. And I thought, well, I got an EDS degree. I have a job. One where they're the higher education specialist. The EDS, it's half title. Like he thinks he's fooling me. And I go, dude, it's not even. You could put EDS matter. It doesn't matter. It's like saying, and I got this. My EDS is still a postman. Is past me. Like I mean, it's not you can't apply it. Like you apply for all jobs and nobody reaches out to you. Like, and Nevada, I looked at of course, non-tenure track, adjunct, part time. Uninterested, in these little shit. I'll show you. I went here. This is 2000, and there was like a graduation thing on there. I got a Master of Science year was coming.